Alright, let's shoot for this working this time right from the get-go, and I'll just get going for the benefit of all the non-live viewers. These are a couple of Bang & Olufsen 6-inch speakers out of, I'm not sure what model speaker. It's like some pretty big cabinets which have two of these drivers each, and yeah, they've obviously been suffered a foam failure. The actual speakers in the original drivers were just replaced, and I got these just out of the trash basically. And I've ordered some new surrounds for them, straight out of Murrka. And here they are. So I figured we'd just try and do it live on camera, get some new surrounds on them, and so we can do. This is going to be a very calm stream, so to speak. It's not very technically difficult work, no troubleshooting involved. Chat's waking up. Hello, hi, greetings. Hello everyone, welcome. So yeah, let's just get to it. I've done a few speaker refoams in the past, and it's basically just a lot of cutting and gluing. If you're interested, like the cost of doing one of these things, like the surrounds are like $40 off of eBay. These seem to be decent quality surrounds. I've ordered surrounds in the past from the same sellers, and they've lasted many years. My AR speakers I've refoamed with these surrounds. Very good. Very good. Most of the surrounds come actually from the US. They don't seem to be made in China. At least you can't buy them directly from China. And in this particular kit, let's see if we can actually get all the parts out. Everyone like the video, says the chat. Yes, you should like the video. Anyway, in this particular kit you actually get a fair amount of stuff in it. Some brushes for tacking on the glue, and you actually get a giant bottle of glue. Giant bottle of glue there. This glue is enough for refoaming 10-15 sets of speakers, really. It's just, unless you're talking like 15-inch drivers. So this is a bit oversized, but hey, not an issue. This usually is just normal wood glue anyway, so you can just use a hardware store glue for this kind of stuff. Liked and ready, everyone says. Nice moustache, thank you. I should shave it off. And in this kit you also got these are voice coil shims, and the reason you get these are basically just pieces of cut up office paper, and what you do with these is you cut off the dust cap and you just shove these between the voice coil and the magnet in order to ensure an equal alignment all the way around. Else you might have issues where you glue the surround on non-straight, and you're going to have voice coil rubbing, and that's no good. That will just entirely ruin your repair. It will not work at all. Let's see if we got some instruction with these as well. It's bundled with invoice, so I don't want to show too much info, but yeah, we've got some clear looking instructions coming there. Let's check them out. I've done this so many times I will need to check the instructions, but if you're a first timer, they're always nice. Yeah. Stapled together with invoice. No, let's get rid of the invoice. We don't need the invoice. Yeah, we've got like 3 pages of instructions. They're probably clear. Yeah, very nice instructions, pictures and everything, but we don't need those. We do not need those. Which AR speakers do you have, FF? I used to have AR6. I've got a pair of AR6s and AR7s. But I don't really like them, actually. Sadly, they're cool speakers, but I don't like the sound for the most part. Oh yeah, I shouldn't have opened this. I should have just used my normal wood glue, really. Oh well, too late now. It's included in the kit price. Let's just get to it. Like, there are two ways you normally align the voice coils on these speakers. When you do it, method one, which I prefer, if possible, is to just not cup the dust cap and not use the voice coil shims, but rather you just install the new surround, and while you're gluing the new surround on, you just feed it a low frequency signal, like 10 Hz or so, and you will obviously hear if you've got voice coil rubbing, and you can kind of slide it around into its correct place using that as a guide. But you need to have a signal generator in order to do that, and it can be a bit risky. And most of this video is just going to be me scraping off old surround material, because you will need to get rid of all the old foam, else the glue is just not going to have any chance of adhering to either the cone or the basket or frame of the speaker. It's called a basket. Is this the basket? I don't remember. Could be the basket, could be something else. This is probably making an awful noise on the microphone. Refoaming speakers in general is sadly not very profitable because it's such a lengthy procedure. Like, doing this professionally is pretty much a lost endeavour, because just cleaning out all the old surround shit is just such a lengthy procedure. Just gluing on the new surround is not a big deal, but getting the surfaces clean enough for gluing is a whole different deal. The people who do it have probably figured out some rather efficient ways of cleaning this way. You could probably use like a metal brush or something. I'm not really professional enough to do that. We have like a glue edge left on this speaker, which I would like to just rip off, but I'm afraid I'm going to damage the cone if I do. So we're just going to leave the glue in there. It's not going to show up well on camera, but we've got a quite significant... Well, let's just zoom in. This glue edge here. Like in some speakers you can get all this glue here to just come off. That's not happening on these. We have the glue edge there, which we will need to get rid of because that can just start flapping around, and that can cause the adhesion here to fail. Since we're going to be gluing over that, we really need to make sure that sticks around and doesn't fall off after a year. You don't need to be super careful about it and not damaging the cone out of the edges, really, because you're just going to be adhering a new surround to this anyway. It's not going to be visible. It's not so fussy. Refoamed speakers always look kind of crap anyway. Why is no one talking? Make the chat great again. There's not a lot of things to talk about. This is not going to be a very interesting stream in itself. I just figured I'd broadcast it on camera, since I'm doing it anyway. And I've got the camera mounted on my bench and the streaming setup ready to go. It's just going to be some guy working in a workshop. I don't have any particular deep insights about life. As I keep saying, I'm not Lewis Rossman. I don't have the skill to make this interesting beyond the fact that I'm doing it. That's a better angle. Let's listen to his ASMR-tastic voice. Oh yeah, speaker refoaming. Let's refoam some stuff. And then he proceeds to make horrible scratching noises right into the microphone. We'll need a better mic setup. Well, the BM800 isn't a bad mic. It's not very suitable for my application. This stuff is not coming off nicely. It's not coming off nicely at all. I'm trying to get to the point where I can just peel everything off. But I have to just slowly scratch it. There we go. That's what we want to see. The cones on these speakers are rather hard, which is making everything easier. Do you feel any better today? No, not particularly. That's why I'm trying to talk rather softly. Nice to see that it's possible to restore these things. Everything's possible to restore. Sadly, doing this is just not usually economically viable. But I got these drivers for free. Refoamed kit is like 40 euros. So, you know, these are... If I were to buy a couple of new 6-inch drivers for 40 euros, they would not be as good as these. So, I figured it's a worthwhile endeavour. I don't really have any cabinets for them. Or anything. I don't have the rest of the speakers. Like, I only have these two drivers, so it's a bit silly in that regard. But, you know, cabinets come and go. I'll figure something out. I know that I've got a couple of cabinets lying around with some rather dodgy drivers in them, but yeah. I'm not sure if I can bother restoring those. They're in rather poor shape. And they're rather cheap speakers as well. I think I should off the exposure on this thing a bit, because you probably can't see the speaker very well. This is where I set the exposure, and forget to ever set it back. There we go. 0.5 points extra for you. Yeah, that does look better. Drink some hot tea and you'll be good. I did that yesterday and then I almost pissed myself. Tea only does so much. And sadly it's not antibacterial or antiviral or whatever. It's starting to get somewhere on this cane. Most of the edge is starting to clean up rather nicely. This knife. This knife is such a piece of shit. But it's great. I love my Libao knife. It came out with like €3 cheapy Lidl, I think, toolkit. Or maybe just a generic supermarket toolkit. But it's been great. It actually allows you to hold the blade in place so you can get really down and sturdy with it. It doesn't rattle around as much as many other knives do, you know. In this case, it's making a horrible noise. I think we're starting to get this pretty reasonably clean. You will do need to take some care to not to twist the cone around too much. Because if you use too much force, you're going to actually bend the voice coil. Because you can even see it slightly how the voice coil is sticking out of the magnet. And that magnet is just like an island about halfway up the coil. So if you use too much force bending to the side, that's just going to go snap basically. And yeah, when you're done, then you just need to stop right away because you're not fixing that speaker. Remind people to like the video. Yes, you should like the video. And I also do appreciate some feedback on the audio, since I just did some more playing around with my VST hosts, trying to figure out how to actually get some kind of reasonable audio. It's probably pretty good since I'm just basically licking the mic right now. But yeah, when I do another repair stream, normal repair stream, it's going to be back to terrible. But even if it's terrible, you should like the video. Liking the video is good. I think I'm happy with how this is turning out. I think we're clean enough here to actually get decent adhesion of the glue. Audio is good. Well, that's excellent. Oh yeah, if you're doing this, you're going to have foam pieces all over. Everywhere for weeks. Alright. So that's the cone of that one cleaned off. Now you just need to get rid of this foamy, papery ring. I'm not sure if it's cardboard or MDF. I think it might be cardboard, where they've just squeezed these around in between there, and we obviously need to mount this round to the basket because the cone is way lower than the top edge of the well, whatever you'd call this, spacer. It's not a spacer, it's just a holder, I suppose. So I'll just cut that. I'm using some force to angle the knife that way, so it's trying to cut down into the metal rather than cut up into the soft cardboard stuff. Because once when I did this, I actually split the cardboard stuff, and that was just kind of annoying. And ripping the cardboard stuff, even if like the foam that's just holding it in place is rotten, in my experience isn't a good idea. Because it's likely to just kind of separate it, and you'll end up with it being ruined, basically. Ugh. This foam is turning all sticky and horrid. Why doesn't he ever read my comments? I read most comments when I'm actually looking at the computer, but I'm trying to do work here. He says, lying, this isn't work, this is just wasting time while I'm sick. I would not have a chance to ever get paid for this. Oh wow, that's going well. Oh wow, this is coming off. Oh, this is going so good. Oh, this is satisfying. This is so satisfying. Oh, look at that. We're racing. We're racing. We're racing. This is going so well. But yeah, just look at that. Foam just kind of bunching up on a knife. I fucking love your mustache, never shave it. I hate my mustache because I can't drink out of a tap right now. Because it just gets full of water. And then I have to dry it up. So I'm gonna shave it when I can be bothered. But I am very lazy, so it might stick around for a while. Yuck, foam. Bloody foam, eh? This is like similar symptom to cutting, that car foamy insulation stuff I use all the time, because that also just sticks to everything. And makes a horrible mess. A horrible mess. Nice hat. Thank you. It was free. Notice me, senpai. I'm noticing you. Consider yourself noticed. I'm very happy right now about the audio setup too, because I think I've managed to set everything up so that I can actually have some background music going for my own entertainment without broadcasting it to you guys and getting a million DMCAs. It's stuck down quite good right in this area. Man, it's really hard right around here. Ugh, I really don't want to rip it, because that does not go well, especially if it's stuck down hard. And I don't want to... Ah, there we go. Cut my wrist either. Amazing slime over here. There we go. Oh, that's excellent. That is off so clean. That is off really clean. You can see we managed to cut right through the foam all the way around without ever actually cutting into the cardboard. And judging from the texture, this is like hard-packed cardboard. So if we'd tried cutting into this, it would have just disintegrated completely. Let's just rub some foam off this. Hey FF, just call me viewer. Okay, viewer. Have you spent time in the UK? Your English is excellent, thank you. No, I haven't. Well, I've been to the UK once, but not for any significant amount of time, and it didn't change my accent. By the way, everyone should like the video. It is disgusting how well just constantly shelling for likes works. Like when I look at the statistics for my last stream a couple days ago, when I was just constantly going like the video, thumbs up, thumbs up. It's getting excellent statistics, and it's getting a lot of views, just because I'm whoring myself out, and that's absolutely disgusting. I don't like that kind of shit. I don't like the fact that people come to my channel because I'm telling people to like my stuff. I would much rather see people coming to my channel because they like my stuff before being told to. I'm not an authoritarian. And I'm going to blow my nose now, so you guys are going to turn deaf. Alright. Yuck. Foam draining into the bench. I think Michael died. No, he just got banned. Or perhaps he's died too. I don't know. I don't quite care. Why is it so... I love the last stream because you got a lot of likes. No, please don't say that. Do not say that. Let's see, sometimes you can actually rip the foam from the basket, because they sometimes have, like, the glue they use turns into a kind of sheet. So if you can, like, get all cut in there, you can sometimes just rip this clean off, and that saves so much time. If we can just get in underneath it. It doesn't seem to be happening on this speaker. Let's try with a different knife. A real proper Finnish puukko. Or Swedish Murrka. Same thing. Used for stabbing your friends in the back. Finns are known for stabbing each other in the back. It's weird. We're known for getting drunk and stabbing each other in the back. Yeah, this is not coming nicely. We'll just have to scratch it. It's fine though. Let's try and not do the crotch cam. If I wasn't doing this on stream, I would probably just take an angle grinder and go all the way around. Use a blowtorch to remove the foam. It could actually be an idea to, like, heat it up. That could work, but we'd be risking damage to the cone. Yeah, just heating this up and making everything melt could work. That could work. We are getting pretty chunky pieces off though. I'm not minding this so much. This is a pretty easily worked drive, I must say. It's playing along nicely. It's being a good speaker. If you heat it up from a short distance, it'll be okay. Well, we could, like, try the Atin. I mean, I've got it right here, so we'll give it a go. See what happens. And this is the part where I put the Atin so that I aim the hot air gun straight towards the laptop screen and melt my laptop. Well, see what happens. If it's gonna melt. Oh god, that smells awful. It's turning softer. It is turning softer. How much easier is that to strip off? Most noticeable feature doing that is that the basket is now very hot and I'm burning myself. Yeah, it makes it a bit easier, but I don't know. It's pretty hot. Didn't really do too much, I don't think. We could try, I've got some petrol around here. Let's try with petrol. Let's try with petrol. Petrol. just a dab, in case that dissolves anything. Normal petrol from the gas station. That actually seems to work quite well. It seems to dissolve the glue. Perhaps we'll just go with petrol on this one. Let's see. Let us see. After petrol, try fire. I'd rather not set my Bang & Olufsen speakers on fire. Yeah, this is dissolving the foam quite well, but it's not doing anything for the glue. Like, we're scratching the foam right off, but we're leaving the glue behind. Well, that's not an issue. Yeah, that's the cleanest spot we've gotten thus far. Definitely the cleanest spot. Yeah, we'll just do petrol on the whole thing, I think. I think that might be okay. Solvent, not a bad idea. Not dipping that in my petrol again. Should have a petrol syringe. It's going to smell like a garage in here. I don't ever even smell petrol anymore these days because I drive a diesel. It's a pretty nice smell. In moderation. I wonder if petrol smells the same in all countries. Because, I mean, I'm quite sure that the reason petrol's got that pungent smell is because they put some smelly stuff in it so that you can more easily detect a leak. Yeah. So how do we know that they put the same stuff in it in America as they do over here? Best smell in the world, a WD-40. No, I disagree. That's a shit smell. Well, that's probably just because I'm used to smelling it in horrible, broken down industrial equipment which has been operated by retards who just go, oh, the sky lifters ain't working, let's just fill up the electrical box with WD-40, maybe that'll fix it. Oh, it fixed it, but now it's something else not working. Well, let's wash it down with water and put more WD-40 in it. Oh, now the whole thing's on fire. We'll bring it in for service. That's what I associate with WD-40. People who do not know what they're doing, but just keep doing anyway and ruining everything and making it so much harder to actually sort of fix their fuck-ups. It's especially common with, like, old industrial stuff like skylifts. Rental skylifts are the worst. Because people rent them out, and they often break in the field, and the person who rented it just goes, oh fuck, I didn't want to pay for this. And then they just do all kinds of retarded shit trying to get it working. I've seen cases where people have just opened the electrical box of a mobile skylift and hosed it down. Like they've taken a water hose and just filled the electrical box with water because they figured, oh, it's so dirty, that's why it ain't working. Let's clean it out. And then they bring it in for service. And you just have this big corroded mess to work with, and yeah, no. Petrol's doing a real good job. Petrol's doing a really good job. don't need his dildo though. What are you going on about? Last stream you were talking about vaginas, now you're talking about dildos. This chat is such a rude place. Okay, what dildo are you talking about? I saw Max Arcade mentioned. Does Max Arcade have a dildo? We're almost done. I left this part without petrol, so we'll see if it just goes incredibly hard now. We'll know that the petrol's actually doing a good job. And it's not just placebo. Yeah. This is somewhat more difficult to remove, but it's not super hard. So yeah, petrol helped a bit, but it's not a miracle cure-all. Smells nice in here though. Max Arcade did give to me his dildo, the chat says. Okay. I hope I'm not expected to enter into some dildo sharing club. I would imagine big clubs in that. The comment section for this video is going to be so full of professional speaker Refoamers telling me so much about what I'm doing wrong. We still need to get this somewhat more clean. Hi, I want to be mod. You've done nothing to deserve being a mod. Not a single thing. You would have to come up with a very good argument. Scrape more, you're only scraping the surface. Yes, I know. The thing is, it doesn't quite matter if there's a layer of old glue left here, because the glue isn't the point of failure. This glue could really just be left here as long as we get most of the foam residue out of it. this would probably be rather well served with by a Dremel with some kind of mildly abrasive wheel on it. You really don't want to have any metal particles coming loose though, because they're going to get stuck between the voice coil and the magnet, and then you're fucked. The scraping sound gives me goosebumps. Yeah. I take no responsibility for your personal comfort. I am not forcing anybody to watch this. By the way, I'm getting like YouTube's telling me the stream health is yellow. Is anyone experiencing any issues? I actually dropped the video bitrate slightly for the stream, trying to resolve issues. But it's difficult for me to get any really good feedback on this. I think this is pretty much about as good as it needs to be. That's good enough. Because we're still going to be putting a new surround on this, so we don't need it to be super clean anyway. Now this is an issue which you sometimes come across. This surround is so fresh and spongy that it's actually sitting somewhat proud of the cone. There are a couple of ways of fixing that. One way is to mount the surround underneath the cone, which I'll see if that would work. That sometimes works out, that sometimes doesn't. In this case, I think it's not gonna work. No, that would just turn into utter shit. It's forcing the cone up. You can even see it on the, what's that, the spider that is just getting pushed up, so that's no good. The other solution I've used is to just try and push the cone up slightly while gluing the surround onto the cone. There's like big toothpicks or something to first glue the surround to the cone and then later on glue it to the basket. It's looking good otherwise though. It's actually looking quite excellent. I like the way this is going to turn out. I finally caught you live. Hello from Holland. Hello. Just push it up slightly. Yes. But we need to figure out a way to do that properly. Sometimes you can like put sticks in between here and just push the cone up. I'm not sure how well that's going to work in this case though. Let's see. Good use for these little brushes. Well, that's so close. So close to good enough, but we still have a big gap on one side. How is this going to work? How are we going to solve this issue? Okay, yeah, that's working. I'm just pushing the brushes up along the side there, and that's pressing the cone upwards slightly, which will enable us to glue it in place. That's going to turn out quite nice, I think. Alignment doesn't matter since you need to start by gluing the inner part of the surround, and later on you'll glue the outer part of this around. Because if you do both at the same time, it's impossible to align. In fact, it's never easy to align this, nor is it easy to get this around perfectly straight on there anyway. Refoaming speakers is finicky business. Very finicky. Yeah, this is not lying quite symmetrical. The issue is that the foam really likes to become somewhat oval. Like it likes to be somewhat like so, or somewhat like so, and that's going to give you linearity issues. It's not going to travel perfectly straight when the speaker is done and performing. So you really need to take care in order to avoid that. I'm not sure if there's any really good method to it. I've mostly just fiddled with it really in the past. And sometimes you actually have this ledge here, the line from where the previous surround is attached, will sometimes protrude each side the foam, so then you can just align against that. But in this case I think we need to align by looking at how this surround is lying against the cone on the underside of the speaker. I can't show that on camera since the camera is above us. Or maybe I can. As you see how this you can see the edge of the surround there. That's the surround and the cone, and you just need to ensure that those are perfectly, or close to perfectly, equal all the way around. So I think we'll just go ahead and start applying glue. No point delaying. Play a 20 Hz tone and it will center itself. That's what I do when I'm gluing the outer edge of the surround. But you can't use the tone in this case because we need to prop the cone up in order to ensure that the surround glues properly to the cone. So there are going to be no tones for the time being. We're very lucky in how easy it is to prop this cone up though. This is going very well actually. Because this can be an issue sometimes. It's even perfectly straight. It's not even rubbing against the magnet. That's just fantastic. So we'll just apply some glue. I'll just the best way to apply this glue is usually to well, there are a couple of different methods. You can either apply a bit on here, a bit on the other side, wait for it to kind of half dry. Yeah, normal wood glue, definitely normal wood glue, this stuff. You can just kind of wait for it to dry and then put the surround on, or you can just put a thin layer on and apply the surround directly. I kind of prefer just applying the surround directly, because it gives you a bit more time to muck around. This doesn't have to look great for the time being. I'll spread it out better in a bit. This Q-tip does not like this glue. Do I have a little brush? Yeah, I do have a little brush. I think we'll use this guy instead. The Q-tip's turning into garbage. Now this is a terribly cheap brush though, so it's probably going to start falling apart. It's also probably going to start falling apart. Oh well. Yeah, it's working better. However, this brush is rock hard. Absolutely solid. Yuck. I should get some more proper painter's brushes. I use brushes for all kinds of stuff anyway. This is going well. You really don't want to apply too much glue, but you really don't want to apply too little either. I prefer having ever so slightly more than it requires, because it just means it's going to take longer to dry. But I haven't, you know, the load on this glue is really rather minimal. Like, it doesn't have to be a super strong bond. I mean, just imagine, you know how sensitive a speaker really is. So having a bit generous glue doesn't matter. And I personally don't care if there's a bit of a glue edge hanging, you know, from the surround either. And in fact, having a bit of a glue edge on this side, around here, will provide you with a stronger mount, since it's kind of reinforcing the biggest stress point on the surround, which is right where it meets the cone, because that's where it wants to flex the most. There are going to be so many speaker refoaming masters hating on me for doing this. I'm not sure if I'm doing something wrong, but there are going to be plenty of people telling me exactly what I'm doing wrong. And if I'm just going to say, hey, speakers work, I don't care. That's looking alright. Let's see. I think I want to have a bit of extra glue on the surround as well. Let that kind of dry a bit. Not too much, just a tad. Just a tad. This brush is a piece of shit. It's rock hard, it's not, it has no give to it. Welcome to the stream where you're literally watching glue dry. Enjoy your stay. Like the video. Because where else on the internet are you going to be able to watch glue dry? Live on camera? That's probably somewhere. I can guarantee that there is a webcam setup somewhere watching glue or paint dry. Because that's something which the internet would do. I've been around long enough to not make erroneous statements about what does not exist on the internet, because most things exist on the internet. Hey, no, people call me a mix of Big Clive and Lewis Rossman. But right now, I'm a mix of Big Clive, Lewis Rossman, and Bob Ross. Eh? Am I wrong? We are repairing electronics which are not quite worth repairing, really. And slowly painting. Ever so slowly painting. Little hills, little clouds. Painting our little surrounds. We can't be quite as slow as Bob Ross though, because we need to get this on there before it's completely dry. There we go, that's good enough. Let's get this on there and try to get it straight. With the part where I'm going to get horribly glued all over. Let's try and avoid that. Right, so now we need to centre it. This is the difficult, annoying bit. We need to make sure that the surround is actually round before the glue dries. So I'm just trying to get an equal overlap all the way around. I'm just using my fingers to kind of push it in towards the cone. I'm not pulling it, I'm pushing it in towards the cone where there's too much overlap. Or too little rather. And I'm also pushing down on the glue as I do it. Because if you push it in and then you just run your finger along it to push it down, you're also pushing it out. And I'm using very, very light force doing this. Very light force. The glue has to do the work. You can't just harshly press it together. I'm also going to add a slight strand of glue around the edge of the seam, just to be absolutely sure that there are no air leaks. It's a slightly ugly way of doing it, but I don't mind my things being ugly. I'm ugly. It makes me feel at home. Yeah, this is... it's ever so slightly off centre. But I think it's going to be good enough. I think it's going to be acceptable. So now I'm just going to put a slight strand of glue around there. Because I think I put ever so slightly too little glue in there, since we don't have a strand kind of emerging from the seam. So if we're not too careful about this, we could actually have like a small air leaks going around there if the glue hasn't really adhered properly. Because you really can't use as much force in this assembly as you should, or you'll just end up bending everything to hell. I wouldn't know the chat on this channel would be this bad. What's wrong with the chat? I like the chat. It's a free speech zone. It just needs more furry porn and like race baiting and I don't know what other weird internet things do we have? Social justice warriors, Trump supporters, Hillary supporters, American politics. So when I apply this glue, I'm just trying to make sure I have a small fillet right along the edge here to make sure there's just a good airtight seal all the way around. It really doesn't take a lot of glue to do this. Just a small fillet. Basically the radius of a solder joint. I'm not really sure if it's acutely necessary, but I like gilding the lily, giving it a bit extra, just doing a bit more when it's absolutely necessary for a repair to work, making little clouds on our speaker. We're just about... Yeah, we managed. There was enough glue to get it all the way there. Like, you're not going to be able to see this, but I've got a continuous fillet all along the edge here. From there to there. That's just a fillet along the edge, making sure that it's absolutely airtight. Man, why are you guys typing in all caps in the chat? That's not necessary. There's no need to shout. And by the way, everybody, you should totally like this video. This is probably the first live speaker refoaming on the internet. Now that deserves a like. I paid €40 for this refoaming kit, and if you guys like this video, then maybe in 10 to 15 years it will have made that money back for me. The usual revenue for one of my videos right now is like $2. About the same for the live streams. So I'm doing this for you for $2. Not a lot of people would do this for $2. And in fact, I'm basically doing it at a $38 loss. So I'm being really generous to you guys. So you have really not liking this video is very rude of you. Very, very rude. We are so close to having this part done. I'm edging on the end. So close to... Yeah, but it's gonna work. We're getting our fillet without adding even more glue. Yeah, I'm liking the look of that. Let's try and give you guys a close-up on what this looks like. Let's try and give you guys a close-up. Let's see. So there you go. That's what I like my seam to look like. Let's get that down there. Give it a bit more zoom. There you go. So, we've got like the last step I've been doing has been creating... Where the hell is my... There we go. There's fillet right along there. All the way around. Just to make sure that there's an absolutely airtight seal around the surround. since there's no way for us to know how well it actually adheres underneath the foam. And right now, as you can see, we've also got the surround raised up over the basket. So this is just hanging in the air, supported by the paintbrushes, which are falling out of the driver and ruining it. This is ruining everything right now, because this alignment is quite critical. There we go. Oh wow, that's zoomed in. There we go. So this needs to dry for a while before we can start working on the outer edge. Because if I tried to align this right now, it would just break the seam we've just created. So this needs to sit around, and we can start working on the other driver while this is drying. It's looking quite fine on the underside. I didn't mind the look of that. Might add some glue later on when it's done, but for the time being, that's fine. Make a time-lapse video of drying glue. No, that would be too much work. Time-lapse is shit work. It is so difficult to edit. Alright. Time to rob some more foam. Wow. Right, so it's taken 1 hour to get about 70% done on one speaker. At a normal repair shop rate, that would be a lot of money. So it's a shame. It's a shame this is such a slow process. I really wish it would be quicker. But who knows, maybe I just suck. I probably just suck. And this can obviously be done in half of the time. The big build-up towards watching glue dry. Now let's be creative here. Let's have a dedicated glue drying cam. Let's see how we can do this. There's the glue drying cam. Glue drying live on camera. Glue drying and scratching noises. This is going to be such a mainstream hit. I'm going to be raking in millions. Millions, I tell you. But it's cool. It's not living in a socialist country where I don't need to be so worried about money. I'm not accepting any government handouts for the time being. But if I ever totally ran out of money, I could just go to the government and say, hey, I'm too poor to afford food, give me money. And they'd give me money. But I don't think it's good for people to do that if they are able to support themselves in any kind of extent, which I seem to be. Well, let's not get too political around here. Oh, Jesus. Why is the chat full of emojis? So many emojis. Getting a real pile of stuff going there. All the old foam just coming off. This is turning out quite alright. Wow, there are 72 people watching this. Oh, that's just silly. That's just silly. 72 people watching. Glue dry. And guy scraping foam of a speaker. Anyway, everyone who's watching should give a video a thumbs up. Because I am a whore for thumbs up now. Because it helps the channel. If you are watching this, then you're probably subscribed to me. And if you're subscribed to me, you've probably liked something I've done in the past. Well, everything I've done in the past is powered by the fact that people are watching what I do. And if you just thumbs up this video, literally, it gives a gigantic boost to the promotion value of a channel, and that enables me to increase my ad revenue and actually inspire me to create more proper content, like a live glue drying camera. So thank you if you've given me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Either one helps. Like, as long as you interact with a video, it's good for me. If you really want to hurt a channel, you just do not interact with it at all. Video views are almost worthless. View time has more value, but thumbs up and thumbs down are by far the most significant metric which the value of a channel is based upon. Just if content is good enough to provoke a reaction from a viewer which is strong enough to urge them to press a button, then that is apparently a lot of value to advertisers, because it means that it's powerful content in some way or another. But it also enables like horse like me to just go, hey, like the video no matter what, or interact with it. And you sheep are going to do it for me. Wake up, sheeple. Or rather, remain sleeping, actually. And just do what I tell you to do. Do what I tell you to do. That's what you should live by. FF Cossack, what's your first name? You must have mentioned it and I've seen all your vids, but I forget. Ludwig. My first name is Ludwig. This is starting to clean up. Just a bit more scratching. By the way, this is a toothbrush which I bent using hot air just to be able to scrub things more comfortably. I highly recommend making one of these. It's a very useful tool for like cleaning flux residue off of PCBs and stuff, and foam residue off of the speaker. If it does not work, we will await the speaker popping episode. Nah, it'll work. I'm quite confident in this. I've done it so many times before. Maybe I should say I'm an adult and genuinely curious and liking your videos. Why would you be an adult? That's boring. Adults don't spend time watching glue dry. That's what children do. Curious, funny. Children. It's more fun to act like a child. We're all children at heart. I didn't understand value. Also, I wouldn't be doing this. I would be spending my time more productively. He's scratching it, help it, it is precious. What? I am a 45 child. Nice. Children-friendly stream. Yes, I like children around here. I like children around here. You know, children watching a stream full of knives and people talking about dildos. And well, oh yeah, the last time it was vaginas. This is so child friendly. I'm not sure if like I have to put some kind of age rating on this. I don't think so. Maybe someone's gonna flag the video because it got the word vagina in it. Oh well. Oh. Oh, this is difficult to pull out. Jesus. Oof. Look at that. That foam's grippy. Real bloody grippy. Yuck. Stranger danger. Yuck. This is disgusting. Catholic speaker Refoam chat. That's a good one. That is a good one. FF, how long is your dick? I'm honestly not sure. I would imagine it's quite average. Like if you look up average dick size statistics, it's gonna be somewhere in the middle. For a normal white person. Mm-hmm. And I'm out. Have a good one. Enjoy yourself, Phoenix. We will keep watching glue dry while you're gone. And Max Arcade dildo is 1 meter long. Does it have like one of those giant bad dragon dildos? Like I know the guy is like a major furry. I would not be surprised. I don't mind furries. I generally don't care about people. Back in a sec. Sorry about that. I had to aid my visually impaired mother in reading a newspaper. Back to watching the glue dry. I suppose the glue entertained you while I was gone. Oh yeah, I wanted some answers about Max Arcade dildos. I once went to a site that had girls fucking with horses, and guess what? I fapped to it. That's very nice to know. Wow, cum is almost dried out. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna be. This is gonna clash just fine. we'll glue the surround onto this speaker, and then we'll do the alignment and stuff on the other one while this one's drying. It's going to work out fine. But you guys are so dirty. So dirty. Oh, this is almost coming. Ha ha ha, coming. Come on. Come on. I'm surprised there haven't been any circumcision jokes about this yet. I am genuinely surprised. This chat is nasty. No, chat's not nasty. We're all people. I have no problem with people talking about whatever they want to talk about. Offense is always taken, never given. Ugh, this is so disgusting. This is disgusting, not the chat. Ugh, yuck. Just look at that. This just turns into a giant break of a knife. So I have to just get that off, else I'm just not moving forward at all. And I'm sure cutting knives with knives is great for knives. I don't quite care. There's going to be some knife guru out there who's just cringing his heart out. Is your cock on? I don't have a cock. Ha 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 ha. Someone send me a cock. I need to get myself a post box so I can just put an official address for people to send me random shit to. Ugh. Right, where are we? By the way, everybody, if you've just joined this exciting stream, you should like it. Press the thumbs up button. That's helping the channel out a lot, and it enables me to give you more exciting glue drying action and more absolutely perverted chats. Jesus, this is horrible. The moment I get the knife into that area, it just gets absolutely jammed with a horrible liquidy melted foam. I don't want to pull a big claw and slice my thumb open. Oh, this is awful. Absolutely horrid. There are more likes plus dislikes than current viewers, which is very, very rare. Yeah, that is rare, especially for my streams. So there you fucking go. Seriously, I'll just have to keep shelling for likes and my channel will gain. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. But what the hell am I supposed to do? I don't want to be shilling for fucking likes. I don't want to be telling people what to do. I don't want to be telling people to have an opinion about something they don't really have an opinion on otherwise. But I have everything to gain from doing that. That's just so wrong, you know? Like, I'm a libertarianish kind of guy at heart, and that just feels so wrong to me. I hate telling people what to do. Oh, that's for like asking me how to do something specific. I don't want to tell people what to do. I don't want to tell people what to think. Wash your hands. My hands aren't dirty. They're crystal clean, just sweaty. eBay item, lots of numbers is what you need. Please describe what that number translates to in English. PC Tonto. And thanks for the burger. The cum has dried. Yeah, it's pretty dry. A reasonably quick drying glue they sent me. That's not bad. That's not bad. FF, your hands are as dirty as your mind. You quite clearly do not know my mind. Oh no. You are blissfully unaware. I mean, No, I guess I haven't. I haven't included E621 in any of my videos yet. So I suppose you guys are just frankly lacking in insight. Oh, fucking hell, this is... I mean, just... That knife's stuck in there well. It's just turning into this horrible, horrible goop. I have almost no chance of getting any progress on this. What's your name, FF? Someone already asked that, so I'm just going to tell you to go through the entire stream and find out. Because that's going to give me view minutes, and that's good. But someone in the chat is going to bust it. Would a heat gun work without damaging the speaker? No, because we would be trying to heat through cardboard. We really need to cut this. There's really no other way. Oh, this is violent. Absolutely violent. I'm using considerable force. Ah, yuck. There's no point trying to clean that off because it just instantly reappears. I just have to use raw nerd force. Oh, this bloody exhausting for a sick man. I don't like having my thumb in the path of a knife. Quick question, I have a Fujitsu Emilo something or the other and it just locks up at random even in the BIOS. Any ideas? No, sorry. Put alcohol on the RAM. That's generally my step one. Clean the RAM. Because RAM sockets are notorious for just going glitchy over time. How on earth is this not coming off? This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. I'm getting so tempted to just rip this thing, but that would ruin it. I'm starting to get somewhere, but it's still bloody well stuck down. Ugh. If you ever get 100k subs, remember me. No, I won't. I'm sorry, but I won't. I can barely remember my own name. Back to violence. As it's not showing up on the video, but I'm like using a lot of force doing this. Alright, I think we've just got the outermost edge left to clean out now. I'm just reading what's on FF Cossack's table. Well, it says FF Cossack over and over. That's pretty much it. Yeah, we're getting somewhere. Finally. Whew, finally. That was a lot of work. Whew. Now we just need to clean all this shit up. Lovely. Are those iron cleaners the same as pot scrubbers? Yes. Yes, they are. Can you heat up that glue? We figured out that petrol worked best. And the traditional way to build speakers is using like water-based wood glue, not hot glue. And we should just try putting some water on it. I've got water right here. Water in my vodka bottle. This is very, very weak vodka. Let's see if this dissolves it. Could actually do better than the petrol. We will find out. Because there's a decent chance this glue is actually water-based. Yeah, that's coming off fine. Wow, that's the cleanest we've ever had this. I'm just gonna put water on everything. Definitely just gonna put water on everything. Well, that's good to know. We've learned something. I need a water container. Do I have a water container? I've got a dirty coffee cup. That's good enough for me. Are you planning to fap in the stream? Yes. Yes, that's quite obviously what I'm planning to do. That's going to be my big YouTube break. Watering the speakers. A little known fact about speakers, you need to water them about once every 30 years. Preferably over a non-waterproof MDF bench. Yeah, this is just dissolving it right off. Just look at that. That's great. That's absolutely excellent. Hey, that glue on the other speaker has dried. Yeah, it seems to. And it's still going to be drying. Like, in the actual seam. It's just dried around the edge, basically. So it's not fully dried yet. It takes a pretty long time for the glue to dry. Longer than you'd think. So, there's no harm in just taking our sweet time to get in there. Well, let's see how well this works. I think this is going to work very well. Oh yeah. No effort going into that. No effort at all. Who would have imagined that using water to solve a water-based glue would work? Who could ever figure that out? Truly we are on the bleeding edge of science on this channel. That's turning out so good. That's so clean. Alright, let's return to the wide angle camera. There's no need for the drying glue cam when the glue's already dried. Will you replace the rubber surround or another foam surround? As foam rots from pollution exposure here in Los Angeles, CA, foam surrounds and microphone wind gags go soft and crumble lots. Well, that happens everywhere. It's just because, I don't know, materials act that way. I mean, I live in an extremely unpolluted area, and we're having the same issue, so I don't think it has to do with the fact that you're in Los Angeles. This is so much better than the petrol. So much better. Children glue will dissolve in water, not D3 or D4 glue. Whatever this is, it's dissolving in water. I mean, it's a speaker, it's not supposed to ever get wet. So I don't see why they would use water-resistant glue on it. There's just no point. You know the Trumpster. Okay. More water. Bye, I need to get some sleep. Well, enjoy yourself. Oh, fuck. We do not decide to have water on the cone. That's a bad thing. Have you ever seen a nerd move that fast before? I think not. Bob Ross makes little clouds, we make little puddles. A little bit of rain. Your channel is excellent. Regards from the Big Apple. Doesn't that mean you should be constantly trying to visit Louis Rossmann? Because that seems to be what New Yorkers on tech channels do. Now that guy has to have so many unwelcome visitors. Who is Rossmann? Type it into the YouTube search and you are bound to find out. Ha! Well, there are still 75 people watching this. That's insane. If you're watching this and you haven't already, please move your mouse cursor to the like or dislike buttons down below the video. Because every like and dislike gives me a huge publicity bonus in the eyes of YouTube's magical popularity algorithm. And that means that I will be able to make more proper content for you when I'm no longer sick. And we will be able to have even more super exciting state-of-the-art speaker refoaming streams and laptop repairing streams and whatever have you. But above all, more proper content. This has gone well. This came off so easily. Back in a sec. I thought there was someone at the door, but there wasn't. Ah, where was I cutting? I don't know. I'd rather look at you than movie or TV. Me too. Else I wouldn't be here. There we go. Glue residue gone. I'll just brush this off into the trash. Is that laptop Acer with a white keyboard? Looks like the 5000 series. No, it's an LG. An LG, like, weird, super expensive thing from, like, 2007. It's a lovely laptop. I absolutely adore it. It is a bit on the old side. This is starting to look workable. I'm gonna have to produce another couple of long sticks though to prop up the cone. Have some of these will do. Yeah, that looks workable. That's workable. Let's hope the coon survives this. God, this is scary. That's terrifying. There we go. Coon propped up. Couple of spudges. Pressing it against the basket. That looks fine. Bit wonky on one side. There we go. Doesn't really matter if it's straight now. We're just going to be gluing this around to the cone, so it doesn't matter. This is feeling like there's some glue left on there, but it could be worse. It's going to be good enough. The glue is going to adhere fine to this surface, I'm sure. LG, literal garbage. LG are actually my initials as well. So thanks for the insult, you piece of shit. Oh no. Do we have a new Michael? I'm not going to be reading your comments, man. Just go away. We've been through this. And this thing is absolutely rock solid now because I forgot to clean it. Oh, this glue is also dissolving well in water. Good. Anyone want a drink? There's alcohol in it. How did you clean the cone edges? I missed that part. I just scraped it a lot. Very carefully. Very careful scraping. Alright, this has started to turn somewhat malleable again. The answer to most questions regarding speaker refoaming is very careful manual labour. There we go. Brush is back to being a brush. So, is this going to work? Is it going to fit well? Yeah. That's looking fine. It's really weird because you could actually order the correct foam for this exact driver, but that was the wrong dimension. And these BOSE something or the other foams were way better suited for these drivers. It's really weird. Someone's made a bit of a whoops in production. Let's just get some glue on there. And we can have another glue drying cam while I finish up the other one. Come on. Making little clouds. Little clouds. Happy little clouds. These are clouds of liberty. Clouds of non-commercialism. Clouds of recycling. Clouds of clean water rising from the seas. Clouds of love. Clouds of dedication. Clouds of memories of times past. Because we're putting in an effort against just pointless consumerism, and I honestly feel that way. I feel that... Oh, now I'm getting a phone call. I'll just drop that. You guys are more important than my friends. I should just answer that, actually. Speak it in Swedish for you. I might call again. We'll see. I'll probably call it. Yeah, I'm just going to call that guy up once I'm done applying this glue. Because when you're doing this, you really are kind of short on time. Because this glue dries relatively quickly since you're producing such a fine layer. You know, this is not many microns thick. And you still need to have time to actually glue this around as well. Well, that's good enough. So let's... Ugh, this is such a mess. Let's make some more happy little clouds. Now, this is where I get a bunch of glue on my bench, and which is never going to come off. Happy little circular clouds. You use very light strokes. You can see how, even though this is a flimsy little piece of foam, it's barely even moving under my pressure. Because we're nice. And we're taking it easy. We're not using any violence. You don't need to use violence when working with stuff. This is just very therapeutic. Gives you peace in your heart. It's actually taking a fair amount of focus to do this because you need to be so light yet so quick. Like, I'm feeling somewhat stressed out about the risk of this glue just drying up on me before I have a time to properly apply everything. But you need to have time to line everything up, and it takes a couple of minutes. There we go. That's glued. Oh, this is the part where it's too dried and I get it on horribly wrong. So let's align this. Oh yeah, that's not aligned very well at all. I did manage to get a better dose of glue on both ends of it. I used a bit more this time. I was a bit sparse on the other speaker. Now I'm just using a finger to run around the edge and press it down. Most important thing is you don't allow this round to become oval, because that causes issues. This is looking pretty okay, I think. It's quite flat. Very light pressure. You can see how it kind of wants to rise in some places. The outer edge wants to rise in some places. Oh shit, that's not a good thing. We lost a prop. That means the voice coil is now lying and taking up some of the load, and that's not a good thing. There we go. That's everything back in place. I'm quite happy with this. I'm going to have to... It's pretty much straight. As straight as you can expect it to be. Like you can see, if one part was round, the outer edge wants to rise up, like sit higher than the rest, then that part needs to be pushed in a bit because the surround is stretched that way. And if it's like pointing down, then it's just too tightly pulled together. Well, this is pretty even. It's good enough. That's not going to cause any alignment issues. Well, 88 people watching. 88 people are watching a guy glue some things together. I need to reply to this text. There we go. Alright, final gluing on this thing. I said it was going to be done in an hour, so we'll see if I can keep my promise and be done with this in an hour. I'm not sure. Hey, 90 people watching. 90 people watching glue dry. So if you're new to this, we're just reframing the speaker. Should be pretty obvious what we're doing. And now I'm just going to be adding some glue to this seam just to make sure that we're getting an airtight seal all the way around. This speaker's pretty good on it already, but I prefer to just be a bit extra on the safe side. It's annoying having to revisit this stuff and add more glue later on. It tends to turn a bit ugly as well. I was going to say something. Oh yeah, I was going to shill for likes. If you just joined and you like this channel, do like the video or dislike it. That just gives me a better position in the eyes of Google/YouTube search bots, and it gives me a whole bunch of free promotion. And that means that I will, as a generally not very wealthy person, have more of an economical incentive to produce better content for you guys, and more content, and do more live streams, and generally spend more of my otherwise free time entertaining you guys. Because I am frankly basically a poor person. I am a poor person. And I'm just doing this, well, in large I'm doing this stuff for my own enjoyment, but the fact that I'm taking the time to set up the streaming stuff, buying cameras and stuff, that is in large an economic incentive. Because I'm just grasping at straws. I need money. I need money to either buy this basement or move away from this basement. And if I can earn a lot of money on YouTube, well, I'm never going to earn a lot of money on YouTube, but some amount of sturdy money on YouTube, that just makes it so much more worthwhile from my perspective to keep entertaining you guys. Now that's not... that's some honesty you're not going to get out of a lot of people. Because so many people are just going to pull the bullshit. Oh, I'm just doing it because I'm a nice guy, because I like spreading information, because I like doing this for no economic incentive whatsoever. And then they turn on video ads and reeking 15,000 a year on YouTube. And they don't even release their videos to the public domain as I do. Imagine that. Someone could just walk in and steal however many of my videos as they wanted. And I would basically have no recourse. I couldn't do anything about it. Well, technically I could probably just remove the public domain thing later, but because no one cares enough to actually check that. But if I am to remain at all intellectually honest, I couldn't do anything. If someone just decided to copy my whole channel, I would have no recourse. So that's why Patreon and likes and stuff of a real FF Cossack channel is so important. Because it just enables me to do this stuff for you guys. That's the truth of the matter. That is the truth of the matter. And that's a very nice cloud. I think this is going to turn out to be an excellent speaker. So now we're going to let that guy dry. And we're going to take care of the other guy's outer alignment, because this guy's, I think, dry enough to be handled. So now we can remove these. And just by feeling that, I can tell we've got good alignment, because this is lying flat. If we had bad alignment on this, and I did this, I would feel a coil scrape, but we do not have coil scrape. This is excellent. I watched your van log and now you are saying that it's not your basement. Where do you live? This is my mum's basement. You could go to a beach with that zoom camera and zoom some asses. Judging from your name, Kimi Hämäläinen, I'd say you live in Finland as well. And as a Finn, you probably know just how many warm beaches are around here. Dude, that cell phone is from the Stone Age. Yes, I don't like smartphones. So why do you need to buy it? Because I would like to live in a place I own. Because I don't desire to live in my mother's basement for the rest of my life. Is there anything you missed equipment-wise on the Europe trip? Oh no, in fact I had too much stuff with me. Everything went perfectly. So, I wonder if these are still going to fit. Oh yeah, these are going to fit. Ha, just look at that. You know what? That's just clamping everything down so well that we can just test run this speaker as it sits before we glue it down. So let's just fire up a signal gen. And hope that my streaming PC has the raw grunt to run both my SIGGEN and the code video at the same time. Give me a sec, I need to stop monitoring my stream audio first because that would cause some awful feedback if I were to feed that back into the mic. There we go. Okay, this is the part where something could go horribly wrong. Because I'm going to be doing several audio things at once on this computer. We've got amplifier output coming here. Clamp on there. Speaker on. And disconnect the headphones lest I ruin those. Let's see. Let's see if we've got everything set up. We do not. Speakers, Realtek audio, there we go. Some workable sample rates. Give me sine wave 10 Hz. Alright, I think that would work. Play. That's not feeding out to the stream, that's good. That's the wrong channel. Alright. That's moving. That's excellent. That's excellent. Just look at that. It's making some noise because I'm just not holding it perfect, but that's great. That's making noise, but that's not voice cord rubbing, that's just the sound of the surround flapping. So we're not going to need to cut the dust cap and shim the voice coil. We can just clean this up and install it to press everything down while we're gluing it and play some more sine waves through that, and it's going to turn out just fine. These seem to be very easy speakers to work with. Excellent. And guess what we're bringing back? Oh yes. The glue drawing comes back. have a landline for your home phone? Yes. 100 people watching now. Oh wow. That's excellent. Why 100 people would be watching this, I do not know. But it's very nice that you're here. We're in for some more scraping now because we need to clean this up a bit before we're able to actually use it because this is so coarse and uneven. Well, this is not going to take too long, I don't think. So, if you're just joining us, and you haven't already, please take the time and make the effort to like or dislike the video, because that helps the channel out a lot. And I am very sad to be shilling for likes in this way, but the worst part is it works. The live streams where I'm shilling for likes are getting some of the best statistics on the entire channel. I hate that YouTube's encouraging such behaviour. But they are, and you just have to roll with it. It's their way or the highway. And if you're just joining us, welcome to the stream where we watch glue dry. I think that's going to be workable. Oh, someone's spamming. Please don't spam the chat, that's very rude of you to do. We have another Michael. Yes, indeed, we have another Michael. I was just about to have a drink of this. Let's put that aside. Rightio, so now we're just gonna not short out the power amplifier. Put some glue underneath this, and then we're just gonna basically slam this together, and we're gonna be done. This is such a nice cocktail. It's just milky white water full of little black dots of rotten foam floating around. Can you sing a song for us? I don't know any songs, and I'm awful at karaoke. I'm sorry. Besides, I don't think that would be very productive for keeping viewers watching this. Come on, sing. I don't know any lyrics, I'm sorry. I do not remember things like that. I like music, but I don't remember artist name, I don't remember lyrics, I don't remember tunes. The Soviet national anthem should get you some views and likes. I don't know the Soviet national anthem, I don't even speak bloody Russian. I'm not Russian. What are you on about? Time to get glue. Actually, I should just prop this up again, because that's going to make everything a bit easier. We'll just reinstall our paintbrushes. There we go. Slightly raised up foam edge. I'll just use one of these to lift this. There we go. It's fine to use quite a lot of glue for this part. because you have such a large surface area, it doesn't really matter. So just goop down a lot of the good stuff. It won't cause any issues. It might just take a bit longer to dry, but we're not in any hurry. We are not in any hurry. Oh, come on. I wonder if I would be getting more views by just shutting up and doing one of those weird silent thingies which seem to be so popular right now. I should shut up. My throat is hurting. There we go. Glue applied. Now we're just going to put some glue on the ring as well, and we will align everything with some sine waves, and we'll be good to go. So we don't want to tack that down just yet. We want to get this thing on there first. Oh, this thing is eating glue. It's so porous. Happy little clouds. I really need to stop talking, I'm sorry, because my throat's just killing me. It's causing me physical pain. There we go. That's good enough. So now we're going to be smart and actually put some signal into this before we apply this, because it's going to tack down quite well, I think. I've got it at 10 hertz. Comment there. Quite a bit of excursion. this speaker seems to be a rather luxurious model for this, since this foam edge is actually poking out higher than the metal edge of a basket. So I can just put this thing upside down and allow the pressure from gravity to put perfectly even pressure on this ring and tack the glue down. Because as you can see, we've got... I'm holding it up to the mic now. There's no distortion of this signal. I can even turn it up really high, I think. Oh no, that's ripping it. Yeah, we've got a lot of excursion there. Up to the mic. There's no issues. So this alignment is perfect. So I'm just going to put this thing face down and let the glue dry. And we'll fix the other speaker and then we'll be done. I'm going to put like a fair amount of weight on that if I find anything. These are my spare microphone batteries. That's about 4 kilos. That's going to be good enough. And we'll just do the final speaker. Final gluing. This has been going excellent, hasn't it? I'm so happy. This could have gone so bad. Some speakers are real annoying to refoam. But these aren't. These are good speakers. The glue isn't 100% dry on this yet. So we're going to have to take it a bit easy. I can't bend the foam up as much as I did on the other one. I have to take it just chill. Now let's actually start. You know what? Let's start by cleaning this up, since we need to wait for the... Well, we really need to wait for that to dry a bit more. Now this one's way cleaner than the other one, but we still need to get some more crap off that. Having a bit of foam residue on this, it doesn't make any difference at all, as long as there's not like giant chunks, which would provide this with uneven pressure. When you're gluing these foam holder things off, you really do not want to have any glue on this inner edge here, because that's going to adhere to this round, and if you have like a little bit of the outer edge of this round adhering here, then it could actually cause a speaker to have uneven excursion in the extremes, so you could get distortion and voice cord rubbing if you're listening at high volume. Yeah, this is good enough. This one's so much cleaner than the other one. This was probably the first one I took off, which wasn't as annoying. So I can't escape it any longer. Let's test this before we glue it, as we did the other one, to make sure we've got a decent chance at good alignment. Signal there, foam ring there. Well, let's just be lazy and use a couple of clamps. You can never have too many clamps. These are like $2 eBay battery clamps. Let's see. That's excellent. As you can see, lots of excursion going on. But if I hold it up to the mic, it's really close to the mic now. There is not a hint of noise coming out of that. No rubbing, no flapping, no nothing. So that's perfect. Absolutely perfect. We've done a good job tonight. This is exactly the result you want to see. I'm happy. This will make me happy. So let's prop that up again with those budgies. For bigger speakers I've used like these long grill, like giant toothpicks you can pick up at a food store for next to nothing to prop them up. That works well. I mean, any kind of long stick will work. There we go. Propped up. Now we can see that I have actually made a bit of a whoopsie. This rising up right about here. That means that it's slightly oval, this around. Not hugely, so it's not going to be a big problem. But it's not perfectly aligned. But since it sounded fine, we know that it's going to work. So it's not a huge issue. But it's just a sign that I'm an amateur. I didn't do it quite as well as it should have been done. What hurt is best for glue dry? I'd say the lower the frequency the better. But if you go too low, you're going to set your voice coil on fire. And I mean, you don't play it while the glue's drying, you play it to make sure that you are aligned prior to allowing the glue to dry. Using high frequency like several tens of hertz is not going to work because it's just going to go boo, and you're not going to be able to actually hear any distortion coming out of the speaker. And we want to... Now let's start by applying it to here, because it's nice if this is kind of dryish when we apply the ring. Make for a bit better adhesion. And we need to be careful not to lift this around too high, since the glue isn't perfectly dry yet. We could actually end up ripping this around from the cone, and then would have to just re-glue that area, which I've done, and it's a big bother because you basically need to get with a toothpick in between the surround and the cone, and that's just incredibly annoying. Not something you want to do if you can avoid it. So we're going to be really ginger here. Really ginger. My beard is ginger, so we really are ginger. And since I don't have anything else to say, I again remind you, if you like any of my content, not just this stream, like or dislike this video, because that gives me a huge, just a ridiculously disproportionate publicity boost if you are to YouTube, and that enables me to earn more money and make stuff for you. I would be very happy if you did that for me. It's the best gift you could possibly give me, aside from going to patreon.com/ffkosserg and giving me a monetary donation on a monthly basis. That also helps. And I love everyone who does stuff of that nature. Because I am a money-grabbing... Am I allowed to say Jew? In an ironic sense. Don't worry. I'm not a racist. There we go. This is turning out pretty okay. Oh. Bleh. This tastes like wood glue. Bleh. It was an exciting end. Slash me is Jewish. I hope you have a sense of humor, man. I usually try to keep my stuff very clean and accessible to everyone. While in reality I'm not a very PC person. I think you should be able to joke about anything, literally anything. And I don't have a lot of respect for people who get offended. Offense is always taken, never given. Those are such important words you should remember. If someone is offended by something you say, that's on them. Because there's no way for you to affect how someone else perceives you. You could be the nicest guy in the world and still be hated by a lot of people. Free speech is such an important thing for this. And the internet is so important for free speech. Because the moment we allow people who are easily offended to dictate what's acceptable and what's not, when we're just putting ourselves in a situation where anyone can say anything's offensive and censor people, and that's not right. That's going to be abused by people who really should not have power. But hey, I'm just... I don't know. Libertarian. So what do I know? I just want people to have as much freedom as possible. If what you're doing isn't hurting anyone in a literal sense, as in punching someone or stealing their property or intentionally causing them to suffer, then I think it should be okay. And that goes for everything. From free speech to speed limits, to drugs, to everything. I don't think anyone has the right to dictate what anyone else should do on the sole condition that what they're doing isn't causing anyone else direct harm. And I think people who think that way are frankly having a disgusting mindset. Because I don't think anyone should feel entitled to a right of telling someone else what they're allowed to do if it isn't affecting anyone else. I just think that's... disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. I don't have any other word for it. But then again, I'm the kind of person who takes responsibility for my actions. And if you're a person who feels entitled to power, then you're likely to try and use power to essentially put off your responsibility for things. That seems to be the general trend. People who like power do not like responsibility. Well, that's glued. Glued and free. I agree, but you need to set rules. Well, of course there need to be. Well, I think rules derived by you're free to do anything which doesn't cause direct harm to others is pretty all-encompassing for, like, normal people. It's a whole different thing when you're starting to talk about companies and trade deals and stuff of that nature. But for a general person, why would anyone want to limit anyone else's freedom if it's not affecting them in a negative way? Oh, this is not fitting as well as the other one, so we're gonna have to play some tones through this too. Make sure it's actually aligning properly. Let's see. Oh yeah. That's perfect. This is 100% perfect. What's this dropout thing I stumbled upon on your Patreon? That's a webcomic. I really, really like it, so I'm giving the author $1 a month. But yeah, I think this is fine. Gonna put this face down on the bench. And I'm sadly going to leave you without having read the chat about all the political shit I probably stirred up right now. Because I need to spend some time with my friends. But I'm going to have to find another weight for that speaker. Back in a sec. There we go. There we go. Those are two refoamed Bang & Olufsen speakers. Just waiting for the glue to dry. So with that, I thank you for watching. I thank you for considering my evil political opinions, which I'm able to force down your throat. And I'll see you some other time. Cheerio.